Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Let the record show we have a quorum. First item on the agenda after the roll call, public comments on the agenda. Oh, Mr. Grove. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Come on up.
You know, I can't come to a meeting without snacks.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. John Groh, former supervisor and current auditor of Mill Creek Township Board. One of the questions I have, and it's could be a question or comment together, and I'm going to probably have to ask Michael Foreman here for some advice or comment on it. Under the optional plan, I believe that if there's a mayoral form of government, that you can have an elected treasurer. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right or if I'm understanding it right, where the office of the treasurer would not be an employee, but an elected office. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
One choice is elected, one choice is appointed,
Right.
and one choice is even abolish the office,
Right.
even though I emphasize the appointment or the election.
Okay.
And technically, for payroll purposes, the individual would be an employee of the township.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep in mind, John and Michael, these are public comments.
Yes.
Not
Okay.
question
I'm
and
sorry. I didn't
answers.
mean to be directing it there, but
Not question and answers. Okay.
he's the professional on this here. I'm not. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry there, Paul. But anyway, that was the question, and I'm sorry I didn't defer it to you first and then over there. So
I
got a
mean,
little
it's
ahead
a
of
public
myself.
comment here, John, and, you know, if you have any questions, that, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah, and one other thing here. I'm sorry. Okay. One other question I have, is there a provision that can be put into into a plan, you know, if that is what we're going to do, if that's what's being recommended, that is, that would put budgetary constraints on it for property purchases, property sales? Is there any provision that could be added to such a charter or a plan if that was actually going to happen, if that's what the recommendation was and approved by the voters? So anyway, those are my comments or questions, whatever you want to call them there. I apologize for referring to Mr. Foreman right off the bat, so.
that's okay. Thank you, John.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate you coming in.
Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys are doing. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else on the agenda? Public comment? Okay. We will move forward then with the approval of the minutes from the April 14th meeting. I know that I had a chance to review them, as did our secretary. Is there any questions or comments before we go to approve? If not, could I have a motion to approve the minutes? So moved. Moved by Bill Schaaf. Second. Second by Jim Dedad. Any questions or comments from the commission? No? All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. DePlacido?
Yes.
Mr. Oligieri?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw? Yes. Ms. Shaw? Yes. Mr. Wojtek?
Yes.
Mr. Zana?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Approval of bills, we have two bills there, one from WQLN and also Alon Public Partners. We had, I think, our treasurer, Mr. Dedad, did review those. Did everybody have a chance to look at those? Or if not, Jim, you just want to just review them and we could just take we'll approve them as one, but if you just want to mention what they are.
Yeah, Public Partners, Allegheny League of Municipalities is for $8,406.94. That's for the month of March, and that's in line with what we expect. And then the other is an invoice from WQLN for our broadcasting here, and that was $300 for the month of March.
I just had one question. Jim, I just had one question. How much have we spent so far? How much have we paid ALOM Partners so far?
So far, $22,271.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Jim. Any other questions? If not, could I have a motion to approve the two bills?
I make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second. Motion by Don, second by John. Any questions or comments? If not, Cheryl?
Mr. Dedad?
Yes.
Mr. DePlacido?
Yes.
Mr. Oligieri?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw? Yes. Ms. Shaw? Yes. Mr. Wojtek?
Yes.
And Mr. Zana?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, item 7 on the agenda, committee reports. Mr. Dedad, the Budget Committee.
Sure. Thanks, Paul. First off, to kind of continue with the question that Art asked, where do we stand with the overall budget? Currently, before the approval of tonight's bills, out of our 100,000 budgeted, we had 74,126 available to spend. And of course, today's bills come off
About
of that.
4,000 or so tonight?
No,
30-something?
8,000 plus, 8,500 plus.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was 3,500, okay.
86, yeah, almost 9,000.
Okay.
Okay, so the Budget Committee met twice since our last commission meeting. Our overall purpose was to help inform our decision on whether or not Mill Creek's government structure should be changed or should it remain the same. Our first meeting was with a local CPA to review Mill Creek Township's last 3 audited financial statements, including the auditor's opinion letters and the current township budget. And in reviewing the numbers, our focus was primarily high level, looking at revenue and expense totals, significant line items affecting those totals, and fund balances. Our goal was to maintain, or to gain insight into the financial health and performance of the township. Questions we asked ourselves, are there inefficiencies? What trends do we see? And are there indications of ineffective management? Our second meeting was a follow-up where the committee got together and discussed the information that we had reviewed with the CPA in the prior meeting, and to review and discuss financial information obtained for Lower Paxton Township, including salary information and organization structure. Lower Paxton Township is very similar to Mill Creek. It has a population within 600 people of Mill Creek's population. It has an area within 4 square miles of Mill Creek's area. It maintains only 2 miles more of local roads than Mill Creek. It has similar operations and is adjacent to a major city. That's it.
Okay. Great, thanks, Jim. Any questions for Jim from the Budget Committee? Okay. If not, we have our Local Government Structure Committee, John DePlacido, Chair. Here, John.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. We didn't have a formal meeting between the last one, between our last general meeting and this one. I did, however, and I passed out to the commission members, just kind of a highlight of the different things that we've done over the past couple of months in a summary form, so that when we begin discussions, we don't have to go back and read all the words. We can look at things and just make sure that we understand what they said, at least the important things, so that we have that to go against when we start discussing things. So that's all there are. Again, we kind of a highlight of the overall structure committee activities. We did interview 7 different townships. We interviewed the superintendents, one of them twice, and supervisors, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. So we have all that information, and I hope it's going to help us make a decision here shortly. Thank you.
Great. Any questions for John? Thank you, John. Then we have our last committee report, the public, okay, I'm going to read this one. Public outreach, public relations, public education, and promotion in IT. Art Oligieri.
Thank you, Paul. At our most recent meeting, we had an update from our IT team. Kim and Doug, our website is functioning, our Facebook page is functioning well. It's accessible to all Mill Creek residents and voters. Everything is fine. The second thing we discussed was our budget. We're adhering to our budget, no irregularities, and everything is fine through the end of April. We have we'll be producing a new spot for social media tomorrow. RJ will be producing it, and that will go on social media to direct people, first of all, to update our work so far, and to direct residents to the website and Facebook page. Our next item was what we're going to do on primary day, May 20th, and we discussed the copy. We're going to have a handout that we're going to pass out to people that voted. And we're also going to, we were working on scheduling to making sure that we have at least the same number of people at each of the 25 polls as we did on November 5th. We're still working on the copy for that. And I will be ordering signs tomorrow that will be put at each of the 25 polling locations. Next, we discussed the town hall meetings that we have for the fall, and we made a couple of adjustments from our original plan. We're going to have 4 of them in September, 2 in September and 2 in October. The venues that we've decided on is in the west, the intermediate school. In the central or south, it's going to be JS. In the east, it's going to be the Bell Valley Fire Department. And in the north, it's going to be Westlake. Those dates haven't been set yet. We're still working on that. And like I said, it'll be 2 in September and 2 in October. Next item we had is the WICU 7 p.m. telecast. That was on the 7 o'clock news tomorrow. And Donna Shaw and Bill Schaaf will be on there. Sorry, Donna. And that's something we've been doing monthly. And we'll just talk about where the commission is as of the end of April. We had a discussion on the July 4th parade and realizing the amount of work and time, in addition to the amount of work and time that we've been doing on this commission, we've decided not to participate in the July 4th parade and concentrate on the other things that we're going to be doing after July 4th and even before that. It's an awful lot of work, and most all of us have our plates full, so we will not be participating in the July 4th parade. We also had an update on our Mill Creek groups that we were scheduling beginning in August. We're going to be at we're going to speak before the Presque Isle Rotary. That will be Donna Shaw and myself. It's going to be on the 16th of September, 7 a.m. The Torch Club, Sue and RJ will be there. It's going to be scheduled on October 1st at 6 p.m. at the Erie Yacht Club. And we have the Lions Club. It's going to be August 12th at the Shrine Club. And that's going to be Marcia and John that will be hosting that. And that will be 12 o'clock, noon. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Great, thanks, Art. That concludes item 7. Item 8, Committee of a Whole report. We don't have, I know what we were intending to do today was more talk about, continue our deliberation. New business, just wanted to make note, I think we've probably talked about this a few times. The second meeting in May is, because it would have fallen on Memorial Day, is now rescheduled for Thursday, May 22nd at 6:30, not 5:30, but 6:30 here at the Township Building, May 22nd, St. Rita's Day. I don't want to mix church and state, but I went to St. Rita's School, and we always got off on May 22nd. We always had May 22nd off, I remember that. Any questions or comments on that, just to reschedule that meeting? Item 2 under there, the commission to continue discussion on the type of governance it will recommend to the township, continue deliberations. And I just wanted to maybe kick that off by saying, I think John did a nice job summarizing the interviews that the committee has done. And I know that our record has a lot of the notes and things from those interviews. And I think we've gained a lot of information going forward, especially looking at other townships, a few that have changed from the one type of governance to a new one. And I think, I just want to kick that up by saying I wanted to thank everybody for their efforts to bring that information to the commission and our alternates as well for their contributions as well. I don't know if anybody has anything else they'd like to add to that.
No, I think it's taken a long time to get where we're at right now, and a lot of people still work, and it takes a lot to be involved in this, so it is an effort, and alternates, commission members, very thankful for everything, how we got to this spot right now. It's taken a lot of time, a lot of effort, very much appreciated.
I think it might be fun to put on the record so everybody understands, there's no two townships that are exactly the same. Each one has a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and they treat fire department one way and police the other way, golf course differently, and so we've had to look at all of those things. It's one step short of a moving target, but it certainly is a relatively big puzzle to try to put all the pieces together.
I would like to say also that our group is really an apolitical group. We don't sit around to discuss who is Republican, who is Democrat, or what our particular viewpoints are on that. So it's really a group of concerned citizens, and that's how this whole commission started, and I just want to reiterate that.
Yeah, thanks, and that's very true. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what the party affiliation is on the 7 members on this committee. I know mine is, but I don't think I've told anybody. And I'd be remiss if we didn't thank our ALOM and the folks from ALOM and public partners for some of the direction and things that you've given us through this process. And Mary helping us from the state level, we appreciate her help as well, so kind of keeping us on track. Anybody else have anything they'd like to? I know that at the committee level, I know at least from the budget committee, we've had some discussions on what we're thinking and how we're thinking. I know we haven't brought it to a whole, and I just want to task the other committees, the other 2 committees, if in the next 2 weeks before our next meeting, if they'd be prepared to maybe give what they're thinking and bring it to the public meeting in 2 weeks. And I think we can maybe start looking at where we may be going.
Thank you. Paul, I'd just like to say that I had no idea the amount of time this was going to take. When we ran for office and got elected or got appointed, I thought it was, okay, I'll volunteer. I'll show up at a meeting here or there. But it has dominated my schedule, as I'm sure it's dominated all your schedules for this whole year. So I want everyone to understand that the discussions, the interviews, the road trips, the subcommittee meetings, the actual committee meetings, the outreach, and it's not going to end. It's only going to get busier and busier as I think we move forward. So I took this very seriously when 9,000 people put your name on the ballot and said, yeah, I'd like you to represent me on this government study commission and do the dirty work, do your due diligence, turn over every stone. And I had no preconceived notions when I came here, but I've learned more about government, my government here in Mill Creek, second-class townships as a whole, than I ever thought I was ever going to learn. And I think we all have. So I just want everybody to know that we have put the time in, that we have studied, we have deliberated, we have talked, and we're going to do more of that. But we certainly, and we've taken it slow. And I think, it's easy to say, let's rush to a decision, or let's go. I already made up my mind, but nobody is like that. It was very deliberate. It was very slow, almost painstakingly slow at times. But I think that's how it had to go. I think that's how we had to learn. And I think we had to ask a lot of questions, and I think we had to depend on the consultants for a lot of information that we didn't have. And I think this committee, and I agree, this is made up of individuals from nonprofit, for-profit, government, the private sector. It really is a great group to represent Mill Creek in this decision. So we're all going to take this very seriously, and we're going to do what's best for Mill Creek.
Very, very appropriate. Thank you. Very appropriate, RJ. I couldn't have said it better. That was really, really good stuff. And it has dominated. I couldn't imagine if I was not retired trying to get this done. I really admire the folks that are working full-time jobs and still doing this. So my hat's off to you guys. Anybody else before we move on? Oh, John?
Paul, can you, when the committees meet, you asked. Speak into that microphone so everybody can hear you. When we come back what would you expect for the committees to present? I mean, we can talk about things, we can talk about our own, experience and our own tasks. Structure does this, budget does that, blah, blah. So at the end, what should we bring back?
And as this is my first rodeo, okay, I think for all of us, right? None of us has ever done this before. I think a summary of what your committee feels. The committees have three members. Each committee has 3 members. Committee of how you feel. It may be a summary of the comments, the observations, where you think you would lean to go. And I think we bring those comments, those observations to the public here, and the 7 of us then discuss them here in public, which is required.
Yeah, so each commission would have a recommendation?
Each committee.
I'm sorry,
Either
committee.
recommendation, or at least a summary, and if they're comfortable making a recommendation, I think that would be fine as well. I don't want to force anybody to do anything. If there's not a consensus on your committee, I want to keep it open.
Yeah.
If you have a consensus and you feel comfortable making a recommendation, then by all means, I think that would be fine.
Well, part of the thing I'm thinking about is, I'd like to know, like the budget, how would any change affect anything before I say yes or no, or point to a direction. And if we meet individually as individual committees, I may not have the information before I might think that I want to recommend something, which I really don't at this point.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're not comfortable, then, those are some of the questions that you could ask Jim. I know that as a member of the Budget Committee, along with Bill and Jim, we've looked at other township budgets. We've looked at that audit. We've had that, we had a meeting with the CPA. We looked at audits. We looked at budgets going forward for our township. So there's a lot of effort went into analyzing the numbers.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, as a Budget Committee, I know we discussed, that's what we look forward to bringing to the committee as a whole, for the deliberations, that information. So you may not be prepared in 2 weeks if you don't have it now. I get you.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
But bring your thoughts and observations, as I said.
Absolutely.
Anyone else? No? Okay. Boy, that's good. Thanks, John. Okay, then we will move on to other business. Oh, I just wanted to bring up the commission. I'm sure you're aware we did get a right-to-know request, and in talking with our consultants, we're in the process of evaluating just exactly what would be subject to the Right-to-Know Act before we make any release of any information. We're not trying to hide anything, folks. We have a lot of the information that was requested is part of our record already. The notes from the township interviews that we've approved and have as part of our record. There's some question about employee interviews that we just want to make sure we're doing the right thing before we turn anything over as part of that right-to-know request. Anybody have any questions or comments about that? Yeah.
My question is based on, directed more to Cheryl as to whether we are on a 30-day extension on that time frame. The original was 5 days, but we are on 30 days? So we're not in conflict with it at this point? That was a rhetorical question.
Yeah. Very good. Any other questions or comments? No. Okay, then it brings us to the item 11, public comment. Is there anybody out there that would like to address the commission or have comment on the record?
Jerry's video. I was listening to Mr. Ola Jerry. You got meetings in October. What if you decide not to go ahead? Come on.
Decide not to go ahead, we'll just discuss why we made that decision.
Well, do you know, as far as the signs, do you know what the signs are going to be about?
No, we've made no signs other than tomorrow I will be making signs for May the 5th, or May 20th, indicating that for updated information, to speak to that person.
Okay, all right, let's make sure these are public comments.
Okay, I'm
not
sorry.
question and answer.
There's
Sorry.
no recommendations on any of these signs or anything,
No.
correct?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, it's just I'm just a little curious, that's all. I'm sorry to have to say that. I appreciate all you guys did, but again, I still see bias, and I'm sorry that I feel that way. So these questions are, whether you think I'm wrong or not, or a PETA, as I would call it, I'm not apologizing for it. I was skeptical about this, as you well know why, okay? And again, this township has worked so far. Do you people really look back on the 2012 study? It's on the Mill Creek Township website under Study Commission and see their recommendations? Have you guys read that? I don't get to get an answer on that, whether you did or you didn't. But it's an interesting read, and there was a lot of notable people on that study. Joy Greco, Millhouse, there was a realtor on there. I mean, naturally, you probably read it, so you should know. So if you haven't read it, I suggest you read it. So thank you, and I think 2 weeks is a pretty short time to decide up or down on a recommendation from a committee. Just as Mr. DePlacido said, there's a lot he doesn't know being on his committee. So I would hope you would, in the interest of Mill Creek Township and the citizens, that you would take ample time. You have it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. Sue?
Well, I just wanted to make a comment to Jerry's comment. Yes, they have read that, and do you realize that was 13 years ago, that report? What in your life do you know that hasn't changed in 13 years? And these people, if you've ever read their bios and looked at their background, I am so grateful as a Mill Creek resident that they are willing to take months of their time. What's really amazes me is they had to go door to door for 3 weeks in the summer heat and beg for signatures and explain what they were doing just to get on the ballot for the privilege of serving the people of this township. I can't imagine, if you look at the bios of these people, how lucky we are in this township with the life experience they have. They represent years of life experience in business and volunteerism in this community and homeownership and paying taxes. I think we are so lucky to have them. And when I hear you say they're biased, I am insulted.
Thank you, Sue. Anybody else? Okay. Anything for the good of the order? No. Do we have a motion for adjournment? We do have a good of the order, I'm sorry. Not so fast, yeah, not so fast.
So, for the good of the order, when we do have the township talks, this is going to be an open forum and information sharing. So I really want to see the residents come out to our township talks and be involved, because it's your tax money, it's your township. You need to be involved, and we want to see that. So appreciate it if you come to our township talks.
Thanks, Don. Anything else for the good of the order? If not, now
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
motion by John, second by Bill. I'll just do a voice thing, Cheryl. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.